Top 5 Unsolved Money Heists. For decades, movie and TV shows like Netflix's most recent Money Heist have been romanticizing the idea of defying the system and breaking into a bank instead of working a job. For many, however, it's not nearly as romantic as simple means of making off with a ton of cash and never having to work again. Granted, it's a more extreme method, and it's successful only as long as you don't get caught. This got us thinking, how many thieves have actually made off with their bounty, only to never be seen again? Stick around to find out, as we count down the top 5 greatest unsolved money heists. Make sure you stick around to number 1 to hear about the largest private property theft in the world, which included 3 portraits by the Dutch painter Rembrandt. Number 5. BANCO Central Robbery in Fortaleza, Brazil. The Guinness Book of World Records awarded this heist the title of Greatest Robbery of a Bank, and for good reason. The plot of this heist literally sounds like something out of a movie. Here's how it went down. In 2005, a group of men rented a property and set up shop posing as a landscape company, a few blocks from the big BANCO Central in Fortaleza, Brazil. They spent 3 entire months digging a tunnel that was 13 feet below street level and 256 feet long from their office straight to the bank. One weekend, they finally used the tunnel to get into the bank while avoiding any alarms and sensors, thanks to a tip-off from a bank employee. Once inside, they broke through another 4 feet of steel-reinforced concrete to enter the vault and stole 5 cash-filled containers weighing over 7,000 pounds, which totaled about $70 million worth of cash in Brazilian reals. The robbers were long gone by the time bank employees got back on Monday and alerted police. 36 people were accused of participating in the heist. 26 ended up in jail for various crimes, and a few of them escaped, but only $8 million of the total robbery was ever recovered, making this the biggest unsolved heist in the history of Brazil. Now, if you think that sounded crazy, wait until you hear the kind of painting the thieves at number 1 got away with. Number 4. The Antwerp Diamond Heist. The Antwerp Diamond Heist follows a similar storyline to the one in Brazil. The Antwerp World Diamond Center in Belgium is the diamond exchange capital of the world. Its underground vault is home to 160 high-end diamond safes, protected by infrared heat detectors, sophisticated locks with 100 million possible combinations, and 8 other layers of security. However, in 2003, a gang of Italian thieves known as the School of Turin broke into the massive vault and successfully looted 123 of the vault's 160 safes without setting off a single alarm or leaving behind any signs of forced entry. Security noticed nothing until the following day. Similar to the Brazilian thieves, the gang's ringleader named Leonardo Notar Bartolo had rented an office in the Diamond Center and posed as a businessman for a whole year just to gain access to the vault. He was eventually convicted of being the ringleader and has since been paroled. But he never gave away his accomplices or the location of the diamonds, making it the greatest unsolved diamond heist the world has ever seen. Real quick, before we move on to our next great heist that was never solved, we have a speedy challenge for you. Here's the deal. Leave us a like, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications in less than 5 seconds, and you'll win 10 years of incredible luck. Try it. It actually works. Number 3. The Great Train Robbery. If you thought train robberies were a thing of the Wild West, think again, because this stealthy train robbery happened in 1963 and required no horses and guns. On August 8th, a train going from Glasgow to London was ambushed on the Bredego Railway Bridge in Buckinghamshire by a group of 15 robbers who rigged the track signals to trick the train into stopping in a remote location. There, they beat up the train driver before running away with the equivalent of $61 million today in Great British pounds. They did this all without guns or weapons of any kind, and later fled to a hideout. Police would later find their hideout and collect evidence they used to prosecute most of the gang. Ringleaders were sentenced to 30 years in prison, including a man named Ronald Arthur, Ronnie Biggs, who later escaped, and Bruce Napoleon Reynolds, who published his book, The Autobiography of a Thief, the man behind a train robbery, in 1995, and later went on to work as a consultant for the 1998 crime movie Buster. However, not a single cent of the money was ever recovered, making this another great unsolved heist. Number 2. D.B. Cooper and the Stolen Plane. Here's a great heist that continues to inspire several conspiracy theories and movies to this day. In November 1971, a cunning air pirate who went by the name of D.B. Cooper hijacked Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, headed from Portland, Oregon to Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. About 30 minutes after takeoff, Cooper told a flight attendant he had explosive devices and demanded $200,000, 4 parachutes, and a refueling truck upon landing at SeaTac. This may not sound like a ton of cash, but today, that'd easily be worth $1.3 million. In any case, Cooper's requests were met. He then released the passengers at SeaTac before taking off with his cash, a pilot, and a handful of crew members for his desired destination of Mexico City. However, Cooper didn't intend to complete the journey. He strapped on a parachute and from 10,000 feet in the air, jumped out of the plane into the night 30 minutes after taking off from SeaTac. It turns out his name was a fake. So, to this day, we do not know who D.B. Cooper was. The FBI has processed thousands of suspects in the case of America's only unsolved skyjacking. Number 1. Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum Robbery. This robbery is one for the books and will have you re-evaluating men in uniforms. On March 18, 1990, 2 men disguised as police officers walked into the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston and told the security guard they were responding to a call. As soon as they got inside, they handcuffed that guard and his partner and locked them both in the basement. They proceeded to make off with 13 extremely valuable pieces of art worth $500 million, including Rembrandt's 17th century Storm on the Sea of Galilee, A Lady and Gentleman in Black, and a self-portrait he drew in 1634. They also got away with Vermeer's The Concert, Govert Fink's Landscape with an Obelisk, 5 Edgar Degas Impressionist works, and Edward Manet's Chez Tortoni. To this day, no one has identified the 2 thieves or where they hid the paintings, making this the largest theft of private property in history. The museum is offering a $5 million reward for information leading to the finding of these works, and have since hung up empty frames as placeholders for when the paintings return, which could very well never happen. And those were the 5 greatest unsolved money heists in the world. Would you risk a life behind bars for a shot at financial freedom to the end of your days? Let us know in the comments below. Oh, and if you found this video exhilarating, you should definitely check out. See you in the next